This is the first in my potential series of art analysis videos for manga fights. I've already talked about the great writing behind this fight, so if you want to see that, I'll probably link it. But this essay will be talking about the art of the battle. I'll make a video on what makes a good manga fight in terms of art later, but for this one, I'll summarize my grading system. First, each action should have an anticipation, action, and can optionally have a follow-through. Anticipation is the wind-up for a punch. Action is the punch landing. Follow-through is the receiving character falling back and or the puncher leaning all the way through. Next is dynamic poses. The dynamic pose should exaggerate the action and make it look cool. The camera angle is also important because it can make a shot look even cooler and dynamic and provide clarity. Clarity is how well I can tell what's happening. Space is how much space the panel takes up. The more important the action, the more space it should take. Drag is when things that are further away from the center of action drag behind, making everything look more realistic. Motion is how well the character's movements are displayed. The rule of cool is extra credit. That's all I have for now. The fight starts at chapter 219. When Sasuke punches Naruto, it has anticipation, action, and follow-through. His fist starts moving in one panel, it connects in the next, then it makes a cracking sound. Then Naruto coughs up blood, then Naruto flies away. A lot of panels are spent selling this attack. The pose is dynamic for both characters. Sasuke really leans in for the punch, and Naruto's limbs drag behind the direction his body's going in. The camera angle also gives us a clear view of the entire action. The panel has enough space, taking up the top third of the page. The black turns into motion lines to emphasize the movement. When Naruto runs at Sasuke, the camera angle is cool. It is a shot from behind and low, and Naruto is toned to show that he is close to the screen. When the two jump at each other, the middle panel has Naruto's anticipation. The next has his action and Sasuke dodging. Next is Sasuke's anticipation. The next page has Sasuke kicking Naruto in a beautiful panel. Sasuke's pose is very dynamic, with his back foot coming close to the screen. There are speed lines on his foot for emphasis. Naruto's body is also dynamic, since his body was just moving forward. His limbs are still moving forward, while his head jerks back to sell the attack. The small panel of Sasuke's smirk before this attack really sells Sasuke's confidence during this battle. This attack also takes up the top third, providing enough space. Speed lines are in the backgrounds of most of these attacks to further emphasize the motion and speed. The next two panels are the follow-through of Naruto falling. The panel of Naruto summoning clones looks great. Each character is in their own dynamic pose. The characters are toned to separate them from the background, and the panel takes up the middle third, which is enough space to show the importance of the action. A chain of panels with quick actions take place before leading to a double page spread, where the entire top half is a panel of Naruto's link of clones. This attack has anticipation, action, and follow-through. I'll be calling this complete action. But the kick is a small panel and is shot from a distance, both of which lower the impact of the panel. Sasuke's next attack is mediocre. He zooms up to Naruto in one panel, but we don't see the anticipation. In the next, he's already punched Naruto and the latter is flying away. Furthermore, it is shot from a distance. The next exchange is great. In chapter 226, the bottom of page 6 has two panels, each showing the shinobi's foot taking off. Next panel is of Naruto running from a distance with multiple footsteps, then Sasuke doing the same, then Naruto running up a wall, then the two coming close, shot from above, then the two coming closer and rearing their fists back, then coming even closer, and finally attacking. The anticipation was phenomenal, but the action had such a small panel. Then Sasuke has a panel of stepping to the side. In three quick panels, he reaches into Naruto's pouch. Naruto looks, then Sasuke takes a kunai. In one tall panel, Sasuke throws the kunai at Naruto while the latter pulls out a shuriken. The poses of these characters and angle of the shot are great. It really feels like Sasuke is falling while throwing the kunai due to foreshortening, meaning that Sasuke is smaller while Naruto is bigger due to their distance to the camera. In three panels, the two weapons head at each other, collide, then fall in the water. On the next page, Sasuke kicks Naruto in three panels with complete action. The panel for the main action is small, making it a little underwhelming. All of these attacks in this exchange had complete action and clarity. Next is Sasuke charging his Chidori. We get three panels of him weaving each hand sign, before getting half a page of him charging it. The black turns to motion lines, while there are speed lines in the background. The shot from the side, along with him standing on the rushing waterfall, looks really cool. Naruto lifts his hand in one panel, then does his own sign in the next, and the follow-through is a clone appearing. The angle of this panel is really cool as well. Because of the camera, neither Naruto looks like they're facing the exact same direction. Sasuke runs down the waterfall in an appropriately tall panel. Naruto's Rosengan is charged in one panel and complete in the next. Sasuke dashes towards Naruto. A cool little detail is the drops of water kicked up that are close to the screen, while the characters are far. Naruto launching himself is almost like animation. He grabs his arm, then the next panel has him planting his foot, then the clone dragging the rail behind, then the two side by side, then the two side by side again, but with the Rosengan in view, then Naruto being launched, shot from behind with Sasuke coming towards him. The bottom 2 panels have parallel poses for the two. All of these poses were dynamic. On the next page, we have 4 panels, which is like a frame-by-frame animation of the two coming together and clashing, shot from underwater with the kunai falling deeper each panel. The next page has 3 panels of water bubbling up and then settling. Next is a 2-page spread of the iconic Rosengan vs Chidori clash. The lower panel is a close-up of the hands and their jutsu from below. The top panel is shown from an ants eye view that has a touch of fisheye lens. The poses are epic as the water explodes around them. Once again, the characters and the water are toned to highlight what's important. No focus lines are needed for such a majestic spread. Next is another double-page spread. There are 2 small panels of each shinobi's face before zooming out and showing the explosion. In the next chapter, their jutsus are shown clashing close up again, and then the hands begin to move apart, which leads to a spread of the rivals blasting apart. Both are shown splashing through the water before crashing or sinking. Sasuke's next assault is spectacular. He starts to lean back in one panel, leans back even more while preparing fireballs, and finally spits it. The next panel is a first-person shot of the fireballs heading towards Naruto, who is jumping away. The fire is toned to show that it is close to the screen. In the very next panel, Sasuke is preparing a kick right next to Naruto in the air. The next panel is the exact same moment in time, except zoomed out. This shows Sasuke's full pose and shows the footsteps and leap that he took, emphasizing his speed. Next is Sasuke's kick landing close up, then Naruto flying back with Sasuke following through on his kick in a kinetic pose in the bottom third. Sasuke's next anticipation is also detailed. He's in the air, then lands behind Naruto, then charges towards him, but the actual attack doesn't have clarity. It says POW, but we can't see the actual attack due to the camera angle. Sasuke's Jidori is also good. He charges it in one panel, leans in during another, and the attack is off screen for a cliffhanger. The next time we see him, his hand has impaled Naruto's chest. The pose for the lean-in was particularly impressive. The spread of Naruto with a QB drawn with a brush is extraordinary. His wounds heal in 3 panels. The pose he makes when threatening Sasuke is nice. The way his arms cross and his fingers are curled, showing off his sharp nails, along with the crouch, just looks so cool. Naruto's leap towards Sasuke looks monstrous. He twists his body and arm in an unnatural way. The next panel is his hand swiping through the air. Then it connects, but Sasuke blocks. A quick panel of Naruto screaming happens before he swipes all the way through and slams Sasuke. The attack takes up a third of the page, which seems to be a good amount of space for an important attack. Naruto's pose is sold by him spinning so far that his shoulder is pointed towards the ground. Sasuke's fireball has anticipation and action, but Naruto screams it away. The panel of Naruto screaming is drawn in thin short lines with a 1-point perspective angle circling around the center of his face. This really sells the attack. The next page has Naruto moving really fast and attacking Sasuke underwater. It's not too bad, but I don't like this. I'll call it summarizing. Summarizing gives just enough information for the reader to imagine the attacks that are going on. Naruto zooming around does that. Then the quick close-up hits give a little more detail, but I prefer attacks that show at least half of the body and take up more space. Summarizing is lazy on the artist's part and cheats the audience out of good visual action, forcing them to imagine the scene instead. Chapter 230 is where Kishimoto starts going crazy and making what I like to call manga sakuga. It's a shift in style and increase in quality, but instead for manga. Naruto's run starts with a small panel of his feet taking off, but leads into a marvelous spread. Naruto is drawn almost entirely in thin short lines. Furthermore, his backside starts to trail off, and behind him is a stretched out after image of his dash, also drawn with thin lines. Both Narutos are surrounded by a stream of energy to separate them from the speed lines in the background to emphasize how fast he's moving. The next panel has Sasuke's full Tomoe Sharingan eyes close up, drawn in the focus point thin lines like Naruto's scream. The panel of Sasuke evading Naruto's punch is great. Sasuke's lean to the side and Naruto being hunched over makes the shot very dynamic. The black turns into motion lines once again. The edges of the line work are also zigzagged to emphasize the speed and imitate motion blur. This has happened a lot throughout this fight, but this is the most notable example so far. A shot of Sasuke's foot skidding is shown to display him regaining balance. Then his new Sharingan is shown again. The next panel looks remarkable. It has the onion skin of Naruto recovering and charging towards Sasuke. There are 4 Narutos in one panel, and it looks like 4 key frames of animation placed in one panel. Sasuke's Sharingan vision is further emphasized when the onion skin is no longer behind, but instead ahead. He can see pre-images of Naruto. Naruto is winding up for a punch, but there is another toned and see-through Naruto that is 1 frame ahead. Both of these are brilliant. The onion skin looked outstanding, and the pre-image was genius. He knew that it would be confusing, so he colored the pre-image with screen tones and made it see-through. Both of these notable panels take up over a third of the page. The next panel has Sasuke dodging the pre-image before the actual Naruto gets there. The next 4 panels are Naruto's fist slowly catching up to the pre-image in slow-mo. The next panel is back to regular speed, with both characters leaning into their actions, motion lines, and speed lines in the background. The Jutsu Clash had epic animation with anticipation and action, but these pages took it to another level. Naruto runs up again, and in the middle panel, there is a pre-image and after image, making 3 Narutos total. This time, Sasuke aims the punch at the pre-image. In the next panel, it connects to the pre-image, then it connects to Naruto's face, and the next has Sasuke whacking Naruto in half of the page. Sasuke leans all the way forward for a dynamic pose. The shot from behind, with slight foreshortening, looks amazing. What's smart is that since we already saw Sasuke's fist clearly in the anticipation, it doesn't need to be shown in the action. Naruto falls into the water. In one panel, Sasuke turns around close up, and in the next, he acrobatically kicks another Naruto. The angle of his face during the turn looks cool, and the kick looks epic. The use of a tall panel works really well here, which is a trend in this fight. Then the worst type of summarizing happens. We see the sky with a bunch of sound effects, forcing us to imagine the action. But that doesn't take away from how crazy these panels were. Naruto's dash, the onion skin, and the pre-image were all creative and astonishing tricks that added a lot of style to the exchange and made such epic moments even more epic. Naruto's transformation also has a long build-up. He starts to rise with his head facing back. In the next panel, the bubbles emerge while his head is facing up. We see 3 panels of bubbles forming around his hands and his nails growing. Then we get a 2-page spread of him leaned over on all 4s with the one-tailed cloak. This pose looks great. The way the inside of the cloak lines have a small layer of white inside, preventing any lines from touching the edge of the cloak, really clarifies Kishimoto's vision. Naruto leaps at Sasuke in an animalistic pose. The close-up of Sasuke's eyes looks really cool. The pre-images are used again, but this time to emphasize Naruto's speed and unpredictability. The gap between the two is much wider than before. The pose of Naruto's pre-image is very kinetic. We see Sasuke alone in one panel, and then him looking at the pre-image right beside him in the next. He dodges the attack, and 2 more panels are used to show the real Naruto reaching the pre-image like before, but something surprises Sasuke in the last panel. In the next page, we see Naruto's chakra forming another arm to attack. The black background highlights the action, and this panel takes up a third. Next is a third-person perspective of the arm moving towards Sasuke. The arm is toned, along with a thin white layer inside to make the distinction easy. Then the attack lands. Sadly, this is shot from afar. Sasuke falls back and recovers. After a failed fire attack, Naruto reaches back, then reaches forward, then a spread displays his stretching chakra arm. Naruto lands another off-screen attack. I don't like off-screen attacks unless they serve a good purpose, like Sasuke's second Chidori. When Naruto grabs Sasuke, he pulls in, then Sasuke is shown being pulled in. Naruto's punch is launched, then it hits him in the next panel. Sasuke's Curse Seal 2 transformation takes up 5 panels with animation-like quality. His hair slowly changes colors, and the curse marks group up to change the color of his skin. The next page shows the 5th panel in the spread. The panel of Naruto charging is epic. The way his body twists as he scrapes the ground combined with Sasuke's confident stance from the back looks magnificent. The actual attack is sadly covered by smoke. Sasuke's wing blocks the attack, then flaps him back, and we see the crash. The spread of Sasuke's 2 wings is stunning. Taking up the top half, Sasuke's pose along with the hand-like wings pointed upward, combined with the camera angle, just looks beautiful. The fisheye lens of Itachi is stunning. Sasuke and Naruto charge their respective jutsus. The next spread has 2 panels of Naruto bubbling up his Rosengan, and a large panel of the Vermilion Rosengan. On the other side, Sasuke parallels this, but instead charges flapping Chidori. The leaning in pose and foot positioning of both of these poses, along with the great spacing, makes this look breathtaking. The bottom corner of each page has the respective character's eye, while the center has them jumping at each other. The next page has 4 frames of Naruto moving in and thrusting his attack forward. The camera starts from the side and slowly rotates to the front. The next page has Sasuke doing the same thing but from the opposite side. Finally, the 2 clash in a 2-page spread. The characters are all white with solid black shading, with their white attacks against the black background. Naruto's pose is epic, but Sasuke's is a little weak. The way his legs are posed seems unenthusiastic, but the way his right hand covers his face is cool. A barrier forms around the two, and the 2 attacks go past each other. Sasuke switches to a punch, and Naruto scratches his rival's headband. The barrier expands in 2 more panels before taking up a 2-page spread. White light begins to crack through in multiple panels before the 2 are shown from afar. They each take 2 panels fading away before an empty panel is shown. The seal of reconciliation is shown. The next panel zooms out to show that it was a younger Naruto and Sasuke doing this. The next panel is blank. The fight ends with Naruto on the floor and Sasuke standing. In conclusion, this fight has a lot of complete action. It often goes above and beyond and creates animation-like sequences. The poses are kinetic and really sell the attacks. The camera angles are dynamic and chosen wisely and artistically. The important attacks often have the appropriate space needed to deliver their impact. The attacks are very clear. And finally, Kishimoto drops some stylistic flair with manga Sakuga. He even changes his shading technique for the final clash. All of these points combined with the writing makes this fight easily the best one in Naruto. Thank you for watching. Please like, comment, share, subscribe, and check out my manga for free online. If you enjoy my content, please consider donating to my Patreon. All important links will be in the description.